the first year the Marlins won.
Marlins won?
Well, they were playing that night. And so we opened for Tower Power at this place called the Deering Estate down in Coral Gables on the bay. And God, it was really windy. We could hardly tell what's going on. We had to have people hold down the drums.
The drums?
You know, yeah, because the cymbals kept getting blown over. Everything on stage had to be held down. And I don't even know if they could hear it well, because the only thing that could cut through the wind was the bass.
Was it hurricane season?
No, it's just like Florida does that sometimes. They just come up with some, 40-mile-an-hour winds coming off the ocean. But it was a really neat setting, because the Deering Estate, they was a very famous, large, huge, rich estate, that where we had the stage set up was two big, long aisles of pines on each side, and it ended up in the bay.
Miami Vice, right?
I don't know anything about Miami Vice being there.
What year was this?
98.
So you're at the estate. How did you get invited to the estate?
Well, Jerry worked for the radio station, and it was the radio station's annual Love Jazz Fest.
No, who was Jerry?
He was my bass player and friend, Jerry Hester.
Okay.
And we'd work together as the duo, two-guitar duo, but then I kept going through a lot of things with the band, and I missed having a sax player around. I had Jerry playing guitar, and we had other bass players. I said, I want a sax player back, so I looked at Jerry and said, you're playing bass. His eyes got big and goes, I am?
Now, had Jerry ever played bass before?
Yeah, he had one.
Okay.
That's why I said it's okay for him to play it. But he kind of got wide-eyed and says, I am? I'm playing bass? I said, yeah, you're playing bass. So he snuck us into the gig, more or less, because he worked at the radio station, and it pissed a lot of people off. All of a sudden, my phone started ringing, people that I hardly knew wanting tickets, and other people were talking like we didn't deserve to be there because we're not a jazz band, but we had one night Stan on saxophone.
Yep.
He's about the best guy down there, and we rehearsed, and we played a 45-minute set of jazz instrumentals, and it went over pretty good.
Now, you had played jazz before.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of little jazz-type cover tunes you could do, and actually I wrote a tune just for that. We did that.
Do you remember that tune?
Yeah, it's hard to get anybody to play it anymore because I'd have to teach it to them, but I called it 25. I don't know why.
25?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did Song for My Father, Mercy, Mercy, Take 5, All Blues by Miles Davis.
So, how many people were at the gig?
In the band?
No, at the gig.
The gig?
Yeah.
How much? A couple thousand? A couple thousand, yeah. They were all over. They were just a big, giant crowd of people.
So when you walked out on the stage, were you expecting that, or did you not have any idea?
I knew there was going to be a lot of people there, but I didn't know what to expect as far as the estate was going, and a very professional stage and sound system, and so they set up everything for us. I said, here, try this. I had Fender amps all lined up, so I said, I'll take that one. Set up my stuff.
So you were in rock band heaven.
Or faking
jazz.
it out as a jazz band heaven, a band that wasn't supposed to be there, didn't deserve to be there. This guy Tony, what's his name? He called up and he wanted tickets, and he wanted his band to be there. He says, how'd you get that gig? Well, this guy was a wrestling promoter. What was it? Tony Santos. That was his name, Tony Santos. And he was mad. A few other people I heard through the grapevine. A lot of people were mad that we were playing that gig. And you know what? It didn't pay a cent. We got no money for it.
But it was your largest crowd, right? And you got a great story that I got on tape now. How you like that?
Well,
Play that much for Steve Miller?
no, there was hardly a crowd at all when I opened for Steve Miller. I guess they didn't open up the gates yet, but we played at the Sunfest in West Palm Beach. We opened for Steve Miller. But there wasn't much going on until it was time for him to go in, and it's like they open the gates and they let all the people in. But I met Steve Miller. He was okay.
Did he call you Hot Rod Michael?
Yeah, because he heard me play.
Hot Rod Beast?
He was in his motorhome. We played Hot Rod Lincoln. He comes up and says, "You must be Hot Rod Beeson." And I said, "You must be Maurice." You know that tune? Sometimes they call me Maurice. Woo woo. Sometimes they call me the
Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy. The something in love.
They always call me the
Tell
Space
about
Cowboy.
Neil Young and the.
Yeah, let's get that story on tape. Yeah, take a swig, Mike. This is a good story.
Anybody give him a shot, would you?
So there was that other story where I was just a kid, you know. But I was here in Charleston. My friend Smokey, kind of a jive Jewish guy with the big afro hair and the big glasses, you know.
What year was it, like 1967?
67.
Yeah.
And he worked at this record store downtown that was like one of the coolest places to work because they had a blacklight room in the back blacklight poster room, you know.
What a black light. Bedroom one.
Yeah, I'd like to have one now. Wouldn't that be cool to have a blacklight poster room?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Kara, put that on our garage sale list.
Yeah. So Smokey says, "Hey, the Beach Boys and all these people are setting up at the auditorium. Let's go." I go, "Why do you want to do that? It's in the afternoon." He goes, "Grab your guitar. Let's go and see what happens. Maybe you can play." I said, "You're crazy." But I grabbed my guitar. We go down there. We park in the parking lot. And he said, "Get your guitar. Let's go." I thought he was crazy. "Where are we going?" You know? And these two long-haired guys walk up. One tall guy with long brown hair, another short guy with long blonde hair. So I'm talking to him, and the tall guy says, "Is that a Gretsch guitar?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Could I see it?" And I said, "Sure." So he sat down on the sidewalk, started playing my guitar. I'm talking to the other guy. Then I find out these two guys are from the Buffalo Springfield, and I'm talking to Steve Stills, and Neil Young is over there playing my Gretsch. And so we talked for a while, and they said, "Hey, we got to set up. Come on in while we set up." So we go in there, and the other two bands that were on the bill were the Strawberry Alarm Clock, and the headliner was the Beach Boys. And so they get up there, and guitar, bass, and drum guys from the Alarm Clock started playing. And then Steve grabbed the guitar, and he started playing. And we're just standing on the side watching all this. And then Steve comes up to me, takes off his Les Paul, and says, "Here." I go, "What?" He goes, "Put it on, play it." And then he walked over to the bass player and grabbed that Gibson bass that he was playing. And so Steve started playing bass. Then he gets up into my face. "Come on, kid. Come on, kid." And I've been playing for 3 years. I was only 16, but I knew a few things. So I was playing what I could, kind of in shock. But then all of a sudden there was no drums. I look over at the drum stage, and that guy was getting down, and Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys was getting up. So I'm going, "Wow, I'm playing with Dennis Wilson." "Oh, play." And then Steve says, "Play, play." "Oh, yeah, play." "Hi, Dennis, play." And so we're I don't know what we were doing. It was in the key of E, I believe. Most things were. So then I guess Neil Young had enough of that kid over there, which is me. So he grabs one of his Gretches and cranks it up and starts playing both notes that he knows. He's not the greatest lead guitar player, but he's going real loud. So I said, "Okay, I'll back down. I'll strum." So we did our little jam session, and then things were okay. And they said, "Well, what's there to do around here?" I said, "Ain't much to do. But I got my old Rambler out there." So they said, "Well, I'll show you around." So it turned out to be Smokey and Steve Stills and Dewey Martin, who was the drummer for the Springfield. He gets in. So we drive down by the Battery, and I show them that, and I point to Fort Sumter and all that. And then Smokey says, "Let's go by the music store." He wanted to show off, we got these guys. So we go to the music store, And the lady that owned the music store was a young, nice-looking blonde lady. She looked at Dewey, the drummer, and they hit it off right away, I guess. All of a sudden, they were gone. They disappeared. So we hung around the store for a while, and then Steve said he wanted to get back to the auditorium. So we go back there, and they said, well, just hang out backstage with us, you know, enjoy the show. Just hang out with us. And so we did that. But then it's Strawberry Alarm Clock did their set. And then it's time for Buffalo Springfield. It's about 15 minutes to go. They go, Mike, where's Dewey? I said, I don't know. He went off with the lady. And 10 minutes to go. Mike, where is Dewey? We need Dewey. I don't know. I don't know where that lady lives. And 5 minutes before they go to start, you gotta find him. Do something. Do something. Find him. And just a couple minutes later, here he comes showing up with a big smile on his face. Here I am.
He's a rock star.
Yeah. So they did the gig. Everything was cool. We listened to the Beach Boys. And that was that.